They've been pointing north for some time.
They're in here causing all kinds of problems.
That was Richmond in Franklin County.
This is probably the largest heroin bust that I'm aware of in the county.
And then there's Lexington. A heroin ring arrested at the Hyatt last year, a total of 198 heroin arrests in the city. Much of the source, a 5.5-hour straight shot from here. Court documents show that 1 out of 6 people arrested on first-degree trafficking in heroin cases in Lexington since January 1 claim the hometown of Detroit.
Heroin in this area tends to follow that I-75 corridor from, Detroit down.
And with the recent spike in Lexington violence, 6 murders and 20-plus shootings since June 11th.
Illegal drugs are largely fueling the violence on our streets.
So we headed up to the place known as the start of the heroin highway, where the violence, we're told, is born and grows and leaves.
If you're seeing an uptick in that in Lexington, Kentucky, just look to Detroit. Look at that history. It could be what's driving it.
Former FBI Special Agent Andy Arena and former Detroit police officer Lyle Dungy, both now with the Detroit Crime Commission, took us for a ride through the east end of Detroit.
This is where they do what they do.
An area referred to as the Red Zone, run by a gang called the 7 Mile Bloods, where getting out of the car to shoot video was out of the question.
You'll see the red spray paint.
That's them.
Yeah.
They ride with windows cracked, easier to hear screams and gunshots.
It's the reality.
Obvious signs that we need to leave. We stopped, though, in a safe zone to talk.
You saw it for yourself, those guys flashing gang signs at. So there were at least 2 situations where we drove by where there were known gang members, and they saw us, they saw your cameras, and they weren't happy.
And we went by, you said we went by the first time, not too much of a concern, but the second time was when they were wanting to know why we were there.
First time they're looking at you, who are you? The second time they're basically challenging you. They're throwing gang signs to alert you who they are. The third time, who knows? There wasn't going to be a third time. We're going to put you guys in that situation.
But most of the drive there was no one to see.
This whole block might be gone.
Just burned out homes or nothing.
Now, I used to do a lot of raids in this area, and back then it didn't look as bad as it does now.
Dungy and Arena say work they've done to stop drug trafficking on these streets has pushed some of the trouble out.
The Detroit police learned a lot of things. The dopers learned a lot of things.
And south.
It was a cat and mouse game over a period of years.
They say the 7 Mile Bloods are a gang known to export mainly heroin down I-75.
And if you got a bunch of people fighting over the same drug trade here, take the show on the road.
And the money's better for the Detroit natives down there than it is here.
Absolutely, absolutely. The profits that can be made down south are double, triple what can be made up here. And the gangs know that, and they go down there to try to exploit that.
Lexington officials say that exploitation has slowed as of late. With drug stings focusing on heroin, they're getting a handle on who's bringing it in and the potential of the violence the out-of-towners in turn carry with them.
When you get a spike like that, it's usually, there's some underlying current, something's causing it.